About pain, do you
Pain.
do the
Pain?
same thing to pain, like the anger, like it to expand outside the body? You give love, to give space. What do you do?
Yeah. So pain, what is it? What's pain? What really, when you experience pain, where is it coming from? Right? Is it actually, is there any pain right now?
Not really, not much.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's so intense.
So just check, is there any at all right now?
Okay, maybe some at the neck.
Some at the neck, good.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the sensation in your neck?
Heaviness, tightness.
Right. So just for a moment, if you can, just pay attention to that sensation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I want you to check right now, is it actually the same as when you checked a moment ago? Or is the sensation in any way like slightly different?
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is, right? It's like probably like moved a little bit, or kind of, shifted sides, or gotten more intense or less intense, right? Or it has a different quality, before it might have been like sharp and now it's kind of dull. Yeah. And so when you check now, is it different again?
Every time you check, it can be different.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the nature of sensation.
Okay.
Right? It's just unavoidable. Sensation moves. Sensation changes. Right? So right now, as you really pay attention to the actual sensation you're having, just tell me, each one that you notice, each way it changes, are any of those actually in and of themselves a bad sensation?
If I say bad, it won't be good for me. No.
But yes, the sensation itself, right? Sensation itself is just particular nerve endings firing,
Yeah.
right? That's totally natural, it's functional, it tells you, something about what's happening in your body. So pain, in order for there to be pain, there also has to be something else, right? There has to be some kind of story or resistance or fear. Right? There's the sensation, and then there has to be an idea about it. Like one idea is, oh my God, what if it gets worse? Or, oh my God, what if I don't sleep tonight because there's so much sensation in my neck? Right? So like a fearful story, something that makes, or I wish it would go away. Right? So the question is, which one hurts? Which one hurts, the sensation or the story?
I would say both.
Yeah?
One to physical, one to your heart.
All right. And yet right now, when you actually went to the sensations, there's this thing that as the sensations get more intense, right, it takes less and less story in order for it to hurt. Right? It takes less and less of this effort to, in a sense what the story is, again, it's an effort to take your attention off of it, your awareness off of it. We think a better place to put my awareness is this story about what can I do about it. Right? And when you take awareness off of a really strong sensation, it hurts a lot. Right? If it's just kind of a mild sensation, you can take your attention pretty far off of it, and it will still be uncomfortable, but not that bad. So the stronger the sensation is, it isn't really, the sensation itself still is never the source of the pain. It's a lot easier to have pain when the sensation is strong. I'll share a story. Several months ago, I do this thing. I've been treated for allergies, where I get cleared for an allergy, and as part of the treatment, I have to totally avoid or not touch the thing that I've been treated for 24 hours, right? And so several months ago, I got treated for an allergy to aspirin and Advil, all those kinds of things, right? And I came home, and for 24 hours, I was not supposed to even touch the bottle of Advil, right? And lo and behold, I started getting a headache. So, it's like eventually it got pretty bad. In fact, it turned into a migraine headache. So I'm doing this because it's always, migraines are kind of mostly on one side, right? So I ended up laying down in bed, right? And I came to this kind of moment of truth. It wasn't like a big moment of truth, but it was still a moment of truth, where I had to decide, was I gonna go take some Advil, right? And what that would have meant is that I would have wasted $49. Right? Like I said, it wasn't a big moment of truth, but it was still a moment of truth, right? And I'm lying there, and it's like, if I take the Advil, in a little while the headache will go away, but then I'll have to go, in a sense, I would have to go back and get treated again. That's why it would waste $49, right? And so I'm lying there, and I finally, I find something in me just said, oh, no, I'll just lie here until it goes away, right? And I think maybe it's just because, I no longer had any escape, right? I started just getting curious about the sensations, just like we were just doing, right? I started really paying attention to the sensations in my head. And what I found was, that they move around, that at times there was actually no sensation, like right in the middle of a migraine headache, and right now I don't really have any pain, any sensations. It's like, where'd they go? And then, oh, there it is again, right? And then, and sometimes I noticed it wasn't actually in my head, it was more like a wave of nausea in my stomach, right? And then that will go away, but then it'll be back here again. And I was like, and I got really curious, like I was really paying attention to just sensing every little place that the sensation would move, right? Behind the eye, and to the back of the head, and down into the shoulder sometimes, and sometimes it would be like all over the side of my head, but then it would go right to just one spot, And I was watching all this, and I just happened to notice that while I was watching it, my whole body relaxed. It's like all of a sudden it was like I was very comfortable. And then I started to notice that the second I started thinking about anything else, paying attention to anything else besides the sensation in my head, right? My body would start to, oh God, I couldn't stand it. It was like, oh, maybe I should take the Advil. And it was like, oh, it was like I would start squirming, right? And even if I like tried to think about something nice, right? Oh, I won't pay any attention to the headache. I'm just going to think about something else. Oh, I could hardly stand it to be lying there. The sensations seemed like they were torturing me. And, if I brought this attention back to the sensations, my whole body would relax. That's not so bad, right? So I'm not in any way, shape, or form a masochist, right? So I'm just going to pay attention to my sensations, right? And I have no choice. It's like I don't have any. The way I say it is I didn't have any wiggle room. It's like 100% pay attention to the sensations, and everything's fine. So I did that. I just kept paying attention to the sensations. Sensations. I got more and more relaxed, and I fell asleep. I woke up a couple hours later, and there was no headache. So, like I said, when the sensations are strong, you can suffer with just a little bit of story, with even just an innocent little distraction, right? When the sensations aren't so strong, your mind can wander, no problem. But the pain itself comes from this gap. It doesn't actually come from the sensations. It comes from that split, that.
I got it. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'll try that.
Yeah.